is Dionna Warren, or as my students call me, Miss D, and I work for the PATH program. PATH stands for A Positive Approach to Teen Health. And within the PATH program, we talk to 7th graders or teenagers about their sexual health, about making great decisions, and about relationships and dating. And we answer a lot of the questions with medically accurate information so that they can make the best decisions possible for their futures. So during a class period, we sometimes do not have time to answer all of the questions that they'll have. So I'm going to use some time today to answer a few of the questions that are pretty common in a class period. Question number 1. Is there any other way to contract STDs other than intercourse, sexual intercourse, or vaginal sex? The answer to that is yes. Anal sex and oral sex are both ways that you could transmit or contract an STD. But more than that, other ways to transmit or contract an STD could include just intimate skin-to-skin contact. There are some STDs that don't require an exchange of body fluids for them to be contracted. Herpes is one STD. There are a couple others that you can contract without having sexual intercourse. So yes, you could still contract an STD without having sexual intercourse. However, anytime you exchange body fluids, blood, semen, or vaginal secretions, you are at risk of contracting an STD. Question number 2. If my partner and I are both virgins, will we really contract an STD? Is there any risk of us contracting an STD? The short answer to that is yes and no. So just like the first question, there are other ways other than sexual intercourse to contract an STD. There could be skin-on-skin contact that could contract an STD. And if you trust your partner that they have not had any sexual intercourse in the past, then that's still another way that they could have contracted an STD. Also, in other sessions, I've talked about HIV. Well, there are 2 other ways to contract HIV without having sexual intercourse, and those are through the transmission of blood, so sharing needles, could be tattoos, could be any kind of intravenous drug use, as well as mother to child. So a child could contract an STD or HIV specifically without having sexual contact. So there are other ways that a person could have an STD without having sexual contact. So we always just suggest abstinence because you never know. You can't be too sure. And that's if you trust your partner. Let's say your partner wasn't completely honest about their history or about their sexual past. Maybe they said they're a virgin and they might not be. Hopefully that's not the case. But do you want to put your life in the hands of another person? The best answer is just to practice abstinence. Question number 3. What happens to my body if I contract an STD? Well, it depends on the STD. There are a lot of different symptoms or a lot of different things that could happen to your body depending on the STD. So for HIV, your immune system is attacked and it could affect what diseases or what infections you could get outside of just HIV. It actually lowers your body's ability to defend itself against other diseases. So it makes you more susceptible to other things. For something like herpes, there are different rashes or bumps that come, and there's no cure for either one of those, HIV or herpes. For something like syphilis, death is still possible for something like syphilis, especially if it's not been treated. Blindness also is another symptom or something else that could happen with syphilis. So it depends on the STD. Some STDs are not asymptomatic, meaning that they don't have any symptoms, but some STDs have very grave symptoms and very, very grave consequences. So again, we always just promote abstinence. It's always the best and safest bet. Hopefully you've learned something today. And if you have any other questions, please contact us at positiveteenhealth.org or our Facebook page at A Positive Approach to Teen Health. Hopefully you have a good one.